all sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they have happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the most perfect and precious Buddhahood. All sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they have happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the most perfect and precious Buddhahood. All sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness, may they have happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the most perfect and precious Buddhahood. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. As earth and the other elements, together with space, eternally provide sustenance in many ways for the countless sentient beings, so may I become sustenance in every way for sentient beings through the limits of space until all have attained nirvana. As the Sugatas of old gave birth to the bodhicitta and progressively established themselves in the training of a bodhisattva, so I too, for the benefit of beings, shall give birth to that bodhicitta and progressively train myself in that discipline. At this moment, my life has become fruitful. I have realized my human life. Today, I am born into the family of the Buddhas. Now I'm a child of the Buddhas. From now on, I will forthrightly perform the actions befitting my family. I will act so as not to degrade the faultlessness and discipline of my family. Just as with a blind man finding a jewel in a heap of dust, thus somehow bodhicitta has been born in me. This is the supreme Amrita which destroys death, the inexhaustible treasure which removes the world's poverty. It is the supreme medicine which cures the world's sickness, the tree which provides rest for beings weary of wandering on the paths of existence. It is the universal bridge on which all travelers may pass over the lower realms, the rising moon of mind which dispels the torment of the kleshas. It is the great sun which puts an end to the obscurity of ignorance, the pure butter which comes of churning the milk of the holy Dharma. For travelers wandering the paths of existence, seeking happiness from objects of enjoyment, it is supreme bliss near at hand, the great feast which satisfies sentient beings. Today, witnessed by all the protectors, I have welcomed the sentient beings and Sugatas, Devas, and Asuras rejoice. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. So good morning. It's good to see everybody. It's a beautiful, sunny first day of May in Maine, where it's cold and dreary a lot of the times. We rejoice in that. So we are at the fifth of the 7 points of mind training. We're not quite halfway in terms of the numbers. We're at slogan number 17 out of, I think, 51 or 52 slogans. But this particular slogan or new point category is showing the utilization of practice in one's whole life. So, as I've said many times, we start with the biggest category, the view, where we're going. We're practicing with the intention of opening our heart mind, softening, understanding the nature of our mind, and really seeing our deep interconnection with all sentient beings and all phenomena, and really understanding that every action matters that we do, and how we approach our life matters. And in this particular point number 4, it is not only that every action and how we live our life matters, but also how we die and how we integrate the practice as we die matters. And so these slogans, the 17th and the 18th slogan, are working with the same factors called the 5 strengths. They matter in terms of how we're living our life as heart instructions, and they matter how we approach death. So the condensed heart instructions of the 5 strengths are strong determination, familiarization, the positive seed, reproach, and aspiration. And today we're working with how the practice with these slogans, how this training affects our whole life. And after we work with how it affects our daily life, then we'll work with how the same strengths are significant at the time of death. So strong determination, the first of these 5 strengths, is a very interesting word, particularly because our culture might hear the word determination and think, that there's a sense of fierce pushing. Never give up, get that stone rolled up that hill, fix that broken machine, get the project done no matter what it takes. So no, that's not how we're working with it. Strong determination is really expressed beautifully. I found it a comment in my notes from one of Pema Chodron's teachings. I think I told you at the beginning, I kept a little notebook looking at the same instructions over 5-year gaps in how she taught it. And at the time I was a student, and I was interested in learning about how her wisdom grew and how her understanding unfolded, revisiting these slogans so often, which are very much a part of the training that I received at Gampo Abbey. So this little insight is so beautiful. So the strong determination is a determination to let our goodness flower, not to tame our badness. So often we're hearing these wonderful Dharma instructions and we're thinking, oh, I have to fix myself. I have to fix these bad qualities. I don't like these bad qualities. But if we think of particularly this time of year and that beautiful image of letting the goodness flower, I have a teeny tiny garden where I live, and I have what's called my farm, which is a TV table I'm looking over that has maybe 12 pots of teeny tiny little seedlings. So if I'm trying to help those seedlings flower, I'm looking at how dry is the soil this morning? Have they started to, germinate? How I welcome, the little fragile germinating little seedling, and then one of the seedlings, one of the packets of seeds didn't actually work too well. seems to be a problem with these seeds. So no problem. Actually, I just go out and buy another packet of seedlings and start over and plant them maybe a little more carefully, watch the water a little more carefully, watch the sunlight. And so there's a loving tenderness to wanting these seedlings to blossom, and the determination is paying attention to what they need with this spring-like mindset of a joyous welcoming, flowers again, and the idea of the flower that they will become. So strong determination, taking it out of the realm of an aggressive force entirely, and really relating to it in terms of our Dharma practice, that it is our strong determination to open our hearts and minds and to become gentle, aware, and welcoming to the world and all beings in the world, wanting them to flower in just the same way and to assist their flowering. And we approach this with our delight in the Dharma, a sense of joy that what we're learning we can see as we practice lessens our internal suffering, begins to soften our external relationships, and we see the delight turns to curiosity and turns to a motivation that wants us to learn. So it's coming from this base of joy and a base of curiosity and delight. I'm having fun at the moment exploring Tai Chi, and the teacher, the new teacher that I just started a class with said, we don't even use the word practicing Tai Chi. That's too aggressive a word, too contradictory to what we want, which is this beautiful, relaxed attention, which is what we're looking for in meditation. So he was trained to say, now we're playing Tai Chi, just so that we take it out of that grasping, fixing kind of mentality to a presence of mind that's concordant with the result that we want. And in meditation, it is that delight, welcoming of our own Buddha nature blossoming and welcoming the world and all the situations that we interact with as bodhisattvas to be. So the healthy approach is this connection to joy. And in meditation, so often I've read instructions that say, stop meditation while your mind is still fresh and calm, so that we leave practice with a sense of joy, and that joy, of course, will then motivate us to have the determination and interest to come back to the meditation cushion over and over again with the same playful curiosity, with the same openness, with the same thirst that allows us to then look at perhaps more difficult qualities in a gentle way and explore our minds in a gentle way, always coming to our minds with that understanding of friendliness and confidence that is so welcoming and creates, maybe determination is as close as they could get with the word in English, but a commitment to the practice that we're able to maintain because we have an understanding of the learning, even if it's not overtly joyful, it is certainly um, relieving or unfolding a sense of freshness or not suffering during the moments of meditation. So um, we're connecting to that curious, friendly commitment to stay with our investigation of our own mind. And we're finding that determination increases as we unfold in our courage and in our recognition that, yes, uh, I can maybe not believe right away that I have Buddha nature, but I can search for myself. And as I see the truth of the Dharma in my own experience, have more and more confidence that I do have the capacity uh, to work with the Bodhisattva path. So I'll go back to that first sentence, to let the goodness flower rather than tame the badness. And that this produces a determination that we recognize in our lives from anything that we have so loved that we have mastered it, right? So we have, I'm sure each and every one of you has a different hobby that you've mastered. You may have mastered cooking, you may have mastered some sport. But what brings us back to the endeavor over and over again is the sense of delight in the learning, and that the learning is benefiting you, and that benefit can be shared. So this is the way that we're approaching determination. And then particularly today, I want to go back to the very second prayer, because that prayer is the essence of determination. And I'll just recite it. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. So this little prayer expresses determination beautifully. So we have a sense of the fruition, that there is a sense of delight and confidence that is sustaining your learning and your meditation, and a commitment to stay with that until you reach the fruition, the full understanding, the full blossoming. Then until death, we have determination, at least within this lifetime. We don't know how far we will be able to blossom in this lifetime, but until death, I make a firm commitment that I'm going to see how precious bodhicitta is, this open-hearted heart mind, and use this precious one life that I have and keep it in the forefront of my mind, so that I am aware of how actively I'm making choices, and how actively I am working with my actions in the direction that I have chosen to go, that I believe is the most worthwhile for my life. And then the final commitment, from now until this time tomorrow. So, we turn off the computer at 11, we may go have lunch with our families, and just like that, our bodhicitta turns to irritation with this or that person. But then we remind ourselves, we plant the seed again, and say, oh my goodness, let's just see if I can work with a bodhicitta heart for even the salad, not even the whole meal. So I'm laughing as I say this, because the determination aspect of it, the the commitment part of propelling the staying power is also understanding that we are swimming against the stream. Khandro Rinpoche put it this way, that we're swimming against the stream of samsara, the great waves of all of our habitual patterns, the extraordinary lifetime after lifetime of habitual patterns. So the joyous determination has a commitment aspect to the flower blossoming that propels us through wave after wave after wave, knowing that even just second to second staying with our own mind in meditation is something that takes determination. Coming back, the determination, let's say, to finish this course in the 50 slogans, the determination on this beautiful sunny day to come to one class and contemplate one slogan. All of these are parts of determination that we can put together and have the awareness that it is to our great benefit, to our great joy, to the release of our suffering and that of all sentient beings, that we make this commitment, that we strengthen this determination, and that we let this determination to let this flower blossom be a commitment that we make in our life, because we only have this one precious life, and we see every moment the benefit of holding the determination with clarity in our hearts and minds. So I'd like to take this into meditation, and I invite you to contemplate. I'll give you two directions. One is to think of something you joyfully mastered, and to really look at, am I approaching Dharma with this sense of joy? Am I bringing this to my meditation practice when I try to meditate daily? And might it enhance my commitment to daily practice if I found the joy in the practice and approached my cushion in the morning with that quality of joy? And then the second choice is, how would my commitment to Dharma be strengthened by an understanding of what determination really means, of what it means to swim against the habits of samsara and to create this aspiration of bodhicitta in the forefront of my mind? What determination strength means between when we turn off the computer at 11 and go to our family dinners? What determination would it take not to allow irritation to arise, or whatever you do next in the day? It's everybody has vastly different lives, but let's say the determination to keep bodhicitta in mind rather than fall into, if we're alone, a sense of loneliness, or whatever it is that you see as the moment where your commitment to letting the flower grow shifts into something else. Or even what is the difference to you between determination to letting the flower blossom, and how is that different from taming badness? And can we look honestly about how we're approaching the Dharma and what we're hearing and experiencing? So let's take this into meditation and just contemplate. And we'll contemplate for about a little longer than 10 minutes this morning. And we'll dedicate this practice and close the Facebook so that we have a private discussion. Bodhicitta, excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.